I'll have it paid before, I'm thinking the 21st of November.
You can pay it by the 21st?
Yes, sir.
All right. What I will indicate is get it paid by November 24th, that Monday.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Today's courtroom session moves fast. From payment deadlines to missing defendants, last-minute sentencing issues, surprise plea deals, and a judge juggling chaotic case after case. And one defendant completely vanished from custody. Stick with me, because the tension builds case by case, and the legal stakes get bigger every time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Conrad.
Court calls the case People versus Rick Artuso.
Ashley Feltus for the people.
Mary Rubio on behalf of Mr. Artuso, who is approaching. I'm standing in for the attorney of record, David Burgess, with his consent. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Could you please state your name?
Rick Artuso.
What are we doing?
Today's obviously date and time for a pre-trial. Mr. Burgess has advised me that Mr. Artuso has a sentencing scheduled for November 12th, and he wanted me to ask for an adjournment until after that date. Sentencing is in circuit court.
Turn this matter to November 19th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Your Honor, can I ask a question? I'm not sure procedurally if anybody can do anything about it here, but
If I said no, what would happen?
I'd probably still keep talking.
Okay.
At least I asked, right?
And I keep listening. No, go ahead. What's it?
Mr. Artuso advises me that he has not yet been interviewed or for his PSI report, and I know the sentencing is coming up, next.
That for the circuit court?
Right. So is there someone I should contact? I just don't want him to get there and then they have to adjourn it because he hasn't been interviewed, and he's available.
I'm not sure exactly who you would contact, but I'd suggest contacting the judges' chambers.
Okay.
To let them know at least what's going on.
Okay.
Maybe they can, because the sentencing on the felony is going to be done through the Department of Corrections in any event. So
correct. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a good day.
Court calls the cases of the People versus Ibrahim.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Your Honor, who's not present, he was transferred from there on Friday morning from Washtenaw County Jail.
From Washtenaw County, he went to MDOC. We don't know where he at though, right?
He is Jackson, or at least that's what I checked.
Where he is current. Okay, let's do this. I'll adjourn this to December 3rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Let's try to find out where he is and where he might settle.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Eduardo Renavides.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate with and on behalf of Mr. Benavides, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Eduardo Benavides.
All right. I have before me a plea form that indicates that the defendant is going to be pleading guilty to the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia in a 90-day offense, which is a stated count 1, and that the defendant, there's a sentence agreement that he's been approved for a deferred sentence in this case. That's the court's full understanding of any agreements.
The only correction, Your Honor, I believe it's going to be a no contest plea. Is Your Honor?
Yes,
Okay.
It's a no contest. I say guilty. It's a no contest. All right. Let's have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the self you got.
Yes.
State your name.
Eduardo Benavides.
All right, sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead no contest to the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. You admit responsibility to the fact that on or about September 5th, 2025, Washtenaw Avenue in Pittsfield Township, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can you get that paid?
I'm honestly not sure, but
Pay it by December 31st, 2025.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you.
Mr. Jones, Yancey.
Thank,
Court calls the case People versus Ishmael Davis.
I just called this for the people.
Good afternoon, or good morning, excuse me, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Davis, who's approaching. Mr. Davis, state your name for the record, please.
Ishmael Alexander Davis.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment. We are in negotiations. However, the people want Mr. Davis to complete treatment before we finalize a resolution. However, Mr. Davis has a hold that we're trying to resolve before he's released to treatment. He has a warrant out of Wayne County that I think is because he missed some things while he's been here. So we're kind of doing the chicken and the egg thing, but I've been in touch with Wayne County to try to get that resolved. So I'm asking for an adjournment of this court date so I can work on that, get the treatment, and then the hope is a resolution will follow.
I think he's being held on a felony as well.
I'm sorry.
I think there's a felony holding him as well.
Got it. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Let me go to December 3rd, 2025, 9 a.m. and let's see where it's at.
he has released the treatments because he has a lot of cases here also, but we've have releases on all of them. So it's really just the hold
It's
that's,
just a hold on it.
yeah,
All right.
we're working on
December
it.
3rd. Court calls the case People versus Michael Atkins.
That's just called this for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Adkins. Mr. Adkins, state your name for the record.
Michael Atkins.
Thank you.
Your Honor, regarding the pretrial, we are asking for an adjournment for plea negotiations.
And I would like to be heard on bond when appropriate.
You're asking for an adjournment?
Yes.
Okay. As to bond, go
Your
ahead.
Honor, the court, I'm sure, recalls on the 15th of October when this defendant was arraigned and placed on bond conditions, he was placed on intensive supervision at community corrections. I did not request any alcohol monitoring device because this is an OWI involving over, I think it was 47 nanograms of cocaine in his blood, as well as over 1,000 nanograms of the metabolite that cocaine turns into when we process it in our bodies. And this defendant has had 4 drug tests since he was arraigned. One of them was negative on October 17th. He missed October 20th. October 24th had a positive ETG, and he missed October 31st. So I'm extremely concerned with his non-compliance with testing.
This courtroom sequence shows just how unpredictable a routine docket can become. The judge begins with simple financial compliance issues, a defendant promising to pay by November 21st, and the judge, as always, giving a structured extension to November 24th. These early moments show how judges typically balance accountability with flexibility. They want compliance, but they also understand real-life timing. Immediately after, we move into the case of People vs. Rick Artuso, and this is where the complexities begin to show. A stand-in attorney appears with the defendant, clarifying that the primary attorney has a big sentencing scheduled in circuit court. The judge grants an adjournment, which is common when a more serious felony sentencing is upcoming. Courts prefer not to run concurrent cases that might conflict with each other, especially when higher-level courts need priority. But then comes one of the most interesting moments of this entire session, when the stand-in attorney asks the judge a procedural question. If I said no, what would happen? And she even jokes that she would keep talking anyway. This shows a rare moment of humor in the courtroom, and the judge handles it with calm professionalism. She then raises an important issue. The defendant hasn't completed his PSI, the pre-sentence investigation report, which is required before felony sentencing. Without the PSI, a sentencing could get delayed, causing a chain reaction of legal problems. Her advice to contact the judge's chambers shows that attorneys often have to take initiative to prevent bureaucratic slowdowns. Then we move into the case of People vs. Ibrahim, and this one escalates quickly. The defendant isn't present, but not because he skipped court. He was transferred from jail, and now No one knows where he is. This happens more often than people think, especially when multiple counties are involved. Transfers between detention facilities can cause paperwork gaps, and defendants essentially go missing in the system. The judge pauses everything and pushes the case to December 3rd, giving time for the attorneys to locate him. This is a perfect example of why communication between counties is so crucial. Next is People v. Eduardo Renevides, involving a plea on drug paraphernalia and double parking. The judge initially says guilty, but the attorney corrects it to a no contest plea, a small but meaningful difference. A no contest plea allows the defendant to accept the conviction without admitting the factual details, which can protect them in civil cases. The judge handles the correction smoothly and finalizes the plea agreement, even dismissing count 1 and setting fines at $180. She gives him until December 31st to pay, again showing consistency and giving structured timeframes but still enforcing compliance. Then we get to People v. Davis, where things get complicated again. The defense asks for an adjournment because they are negotiating a deal that depends on treatment. But the defendant has a warrant from Wayne County, which prevents him from being released to treatment, a classic legal chicken and egg. The judge sets a new date and acknowledges a felony hold may also be involved. These overlapping cases and warrants are exactly why treatment-based resolutions can take months to resolve. Finally, we reach People v. Michael Adkins, an OWI case with serious red flags. The prosecutor lays out a concerning pattern. Missed drug tests, a positive ETG test, which detects alcohol, and inconsistent compliance with community corrections. The judge listens carefully, and this segment highlights how closely courts track behavior while defendants are out on bond. Bond isn't freedom, it's responsibility, and any missed test or new substance use can seriously jeopardize the defendant's standing. Overall, this entire docket is a perfect example of how unpredictable, complicated, and emotionally varied a courtroom session can be. You see cooperation, confusion, humor, urgency, and legal risk, all in under 8 minutes. If you want more breakdowns, insights, and dramatic courtroom moments, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps bring you more real-time courtroom analysis.